What's the biggest lesson that you've learned in your career so far?
The biggest lesson I learned. So, say for example, YouTube, regardless of what the advertiser pays them, it's standardly set that the content creator only gets $2 to $3 per 1,000 views.
In creating IHQ, getting it started, from start to finish, what was the biggest challenge that you had?
The biggest challenge?
Yeah.
Being black. Tubi made $900 million. But then you show me a black film creator that made $1 million from Tubi.
Not one.
You know, I really got into the entertainment industry, but started taking it serious after my little brother passed. I just wish 2025 people would start really educating themselves and stop doing things to go viral because it's trendy, viral. Most people are not making money.
No.
You know, life has a funny way of teaching you exactly what you need to learn, right when you need to learn it. It's a journey that's been messy, beautiful, and uniquely mine. I've been through it all. Friendships that felt like family, ones that broke me, a marriage that grounded my soul, a journey with God that has shaped my every step, and a journey to confidence that I had to fight for. There's power in the things we choose to say. Welcome to Say Something. So sit with me. Let's talk, let's grow, and most importantly, let's say something.
Okay, Rico. Should I call you Rico or Mercer?
Rico.
Rico? Why you like?
Hey, you know what's crazy? A lot of people been walking up to me lately saying, "Hey, Mercer."
That would have been me, because you're branded as Mercer E Prince. Is that your government?
Yep. Well, my publicist, that was her idea.
It was her idea, I'm sure.
But everybody know me as Rico for
It's
the last
Rico.
16 years.
Okay. I call you Rico. I like that better. But before we get started, Rico, because you have a background in music and you've been in the industry so long, I want to play a game with you.
Yeah.
There's really no right or wrong answer unless the internet drag you. But other than that, it's really no right or wrong answer, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to say this or that, and you're just going to pick one. And it's going to be the better for you. This is whoever you like the best out of these two, all right? Who you deem being the world's best? Let's go with Luther or Freddie Jackson?
Luther Vandross?
Yes.
Luther Vandross.
Big Luther. Luther Vandross? Okay, I can get it. Fred Sanford or George Jefferson?
Ooh. I say Fred.
Okay. I say Fred too. Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy?
Eddie. I like Eddie.
What? Tupac or Biggie?
Pac.
Okay, for sure. I don't know. I love Biggie too, though. Chris Brown, Michael Jackson?
Ooh. That gets somebody in trouble.
All the time. But you're from the music industry, so you got to choose right.
I say Chris.
What? How old are you?
35.
You know what? Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Chris is a very talented person.
He is, but he ain't Michael Jackson.
No, Mike is Mike. Chris is Chris.
And Mike is the all-time best. I'm going to get you crossed over before we leave this interview. Drew Hill or Jodeci?
I would say Jodeci.
Okay, I would too. Okay. I think you pass. If they drag you, it ain't got nothing to do with me. We gonna say Mike. I'm gonna say Michael, but you probably get more people to say Chris.
Breezy.
I
He the
know.
GOAT.
Nowadays.
I think people underestimate Breezy talent.
No, we don't underestimate him. We give him all his props. He is dope, but he's just not better than Michael Jackson.
Better than Mike at doing what?
Everything. Dancing, singing, the moves, everything that he does.
I don't know about that one.
Every time I have this conversation, I have this same argument. It's with you youngins.
No,
Like I'm old as Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is the man. But Rico, thank you so much for stopping by to say something. This is Say Something with Cherie Talk Show, a platform where we tell life-changing stories and have impactful conversations. And what you're doing right now in the industry is definitely impactful, powerful, and grateful to a lot of creators.
Yes,
I saw that Sheen Magazine calls you the king of content. Why is that?
Because I'm the king of content.
In the music industry or?
No, so, you know, a lot of these content creators, I done probably started their careers. Like, I've been ahead of the influencers before it was a thing now, before everybody turned into influencers. Like, I was giving them a lot of opportunities.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, way before COVID. Yeah, I was giving them a lot of opportunities.
Did you start as a content creator, or you really started in the business of just guiding other people on how to do this?
Yeah, I was in the business.
In the business.
Because I was already with the labels. We've been with the music labels for so long. And I understood like when the marketing side of it. So a lot of the labels was contacting me to launch a lot of their records for these artists.
IHQ Network, you are the CEO of that, and it is distributed by Radiant TV. You don't own Radiant TV though, right?
They're my partners.
Okay, one of your partners. Now, the opportunity that you're bringing for creators, you said that in one of your interviews, you said that you talk about being an opportunity for our people to own their stories in their own way. What does that mean?
Just be able to create our stories. I feel like the truth. I feel like a lot of our stories that's, whether it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I think they've been told in a lens, in a watered down way from the other side, right? And these people is capitalizing off our stories. So now, you know, it's a time for us to be able to tell our stories raw in the way it is and still be able to financially gain and own our stories.
And how are you going to do that through IHQ? Different from Tubi, Netflix, or any other?
Well, a lot of platforms, especially a lot of the bigger ones, the first thing it's like the music, the first thing when you sign a record deal, they want to take your masters from you. So a lot of these networks, you might have a dope project, but the first thing they want to take from you is your IP, your intellectual property. So with our network, we're allowing the creators to keep their IP and their intellectual property and still financially gain.
That is so important to new creators that are coming out the box, right? We just think we get out there with our gifts and our talents and we start sharing it. And the minute somebody say, hey, I want to sign you or something, we feel like they're the prize.
Yep.
Instead of realizing that we're the prize. So when a creator or artist walk into that situation, like what's the first thing you would advise for them to consider? Instead of being so excited that somebody's interested, what would you advise that they step back and do?
Just do a real deep search of the paperwork. I think we get messed up a lot. We just, like you say, people reach out when you out here grinding, and of course everybody's watching, and then when you get your big moment, people come from so many different angles, and then they throw paperwork in front of you, and you would think like, oh man, they about to give me $900,000 for my project. I'd have made it. But what's in that paperwork? In that paperwork, they taking your rights away, your IP. You can't do, you know what I'm saying? So definitely the paperwork and just learning the business.
Get you a legal attorney. Let them look it over.
Yep.
That is so hard as somebody that's new though, been out here grinding. Like we want it right now, okay?
Yeah.
We need that, all of that.
But is it worth it though, right? Because you gotta think like on the music industry, right? They give you $200,000, but now you entitled to them for 30 years.
Yeah.
For $200,000.
You're right. And you ain't making no money. If we haven't learned nothing else from TLC and all of the other music artists that came in and went down, we should have learned that, the way to do business. Now, I definitely want to give a shout out because we Midwest. You're from Chicago. I'm from Ohio.
Okay.
So Midwest in the business, in the building. Listen, you talk about sharing, you're so passionate about our stories and us owning our rights to keeping our stories and monetizing them for longevity. What is your story?
What, with the music industry or just?
Period. You started in the music industry, but something led you to the music industry now to being the creator of, or the CEO of a whole network. And the goal behind it is to make sure to help protect our stories and own them.
I probably would say You know, I really got into the entertainment industry, but started taking it serious after my little brother passed.
How did he pass away? I'm sorry to hear that.
A train, I still don't know to this day. He was on foot. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so, you know, music, so a lot of the Chicago artists, Lil Durk and Chief Keef and all, pretty much the whole Chicago, he was producing for them. I was in the streets.
Oh, okay.
Like I was funding a lot of the stuff they had going on. But then once he passed, then I was like, cause I knew his dreams and he had a lot of BS going on with him. He was doing records for people, wasn't getting his percentages, he wasn't getting paid. You know what I'm saying? He's still in the trenches, but the artists that he producing for us, BET Awards and over here, and I just seen the hurt in him. So after he died, I was just like, yo, I gotta really get to it.
Change it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful. How long has that been? That your brother passed?
2018.
What is one of the things that you would tell your younger self if you went back in time, since you've been in the industry so long?
My younger self about the industry?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Probably the same stuff I say now because I've been the same way in the industry. Like when it comes to the entertainment industry, I've never been the one to play by the industry rules or move by these industry rules. Like I feel like that's why I'm in the position I'm in now, because a lot of times people come in here and you got to tap dance for these people, and I've never been a tap dancer. I never will be. I don't care how big, I would never play by them rules.
Yeah, that's when you get spoke up, because people that you read about today are the people who took risks or that were crazy, that just did things out of the box and not play it safe.
Yeah, you can't play it safe.
You can't play it safe, but you gotta have something that you gotta really believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't want to tap dance, and you can be waiting another 10 years before your big break come if you don't tap dance for these people.
No, not necessarily. It's about educating yourself. I think that's the main problem with our culture.
Good.
We don't educate ourselves.
That's good.
We do not educate ourselves. We don't even take the time to educate ourselves. And half of the time, I've been in a room with the biggest people, and you think because they got these titles that most of the time they really slow.
Yeah. I keep hearing that.
It's true.
I think Damon from Shark Tank, Damon John said the same thing. Like Obama said the same thing.
Yeah.
He said you get in these rooms with these people and then you think they're the smartest people, they're the best people in the world, and you get inside and you're like, you're over that? You're in control of that?
Yep.
So what is IHQ? What's the vision behind IHQ we know how you got there, but the vision now, what we're gonna do for creators, and what type of creators are you looking for?
The vision is just really to change the culture or get that feel back to the culture, right? I'm only 35, but when I came up, we had so many different programs with great messages in them programs, you get what I'm saying? Whether that was talk shows or sitcoms, like TV series, like we don't have none of that really no more. Everything to me is just dry. It's a lot of ratchet TV going on. It's a lot of negativity in these programs. So it's really just about programming and the content we putting out there. Like we putting real content out there to get that real feel back. When I used to come home from school, we used to be excited to watch 106 O'Clock or Rap City in the Basement or other shows, you know?
Yeah, In Living Color, Bill Cosby.
None of that no more.
No, we don't have anything. You're right. We don't have anything. So IHQ is gonna bring us back.
Love movies.
Positivity.
You know what I'm saying? Like we need that feel back. Like
not
we don't have
the craziness we're seeing right now with all the porn and regular TV series.
Yeah, you know, I ain't gonna name certain directors, but you know, like I feel like for the last 10, 15 years, certain directors are painting pictures of specifically our culture of it's either the cheating black dude, the angry black woman, the broken families, you get what I'm saying?
The gay man.
It's real marriages out here. It's still real love out here, you get what I'm saying? But it's getting overlooked because we keep getting pumped with the negativity, you get what I'm saying? So that's what the goal is.
Would you be open to reality shows? And if so,
it depends.
How would you make that positive?
It depends. People have been pitching me reality shows for the last 3 weeks. It just depends. One of my friends, Day Jones, she's in Chicago. She's putting a reality show together right now. But the type of reality show it is, I think it's like 6 women. One of them on a salon, another one on a daycare center. So we just gonna share light, and that's what I'm saying, the positivity. Like in the inner city of Chicago, it's women out here and men out here that's still able to live in this city and still legally become successful through businesses.
We need to see that because Chicago definitely has a bad rep.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely need to see that.
Yep.
Now, when content is picked up, you're not looking for reality shows, but clearly they're being pitched to you.
Mm-hmm.
But sitcoms, short films, you have a fast channel where it's just all of the reels.
Yep.
I just heard earlier that y'all was capping because 50 Cent was the first one that came out with that.
No, he wasn't. We launched November 13th.
Yeah, shout out to you. You had a big launch in Atlanta. That was really dope. So you have the Reels channel where it's just all of the shorts. People can just binge on shorts. So creators can, once they sign with IHQ, they'll actually be just uploading all of their shorts, kind of like TikTok.
Yeah, so they able to put all their reels on there, the same as like on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram.
Are they able to still share their content on other platforms?
Yeah, for sure. So with us, it's a non-exclusive agreement. Like I say, they own their IP, and I like that it's non-exclusive because I want the creators to still post where you want to post at, because then you can make that conscious decision yourself when you start seeing the checks come out, right? Mm-hmm. So then it's like, why would you continue to convert traffic to somewhere where the system is not right?
Yeah, we see that all the time. I think Isaac Hayes always talks about fan base and how Instagram is not paying the way that
they all set on the same system, right? So you take YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, it's a CPM system, right? And CPM is pretty much cost per thousand. Yeah. So say for example, YouTube, regardless of what the advertiser pays them, it's standardly set that the content creator only gets $2 to $3 per 1,000 views. So if Gatorade, say he go $1,000, out of that $1,000, you only getting $2 to $3, right? Wow. With us, we basically telling you, hey, out of that $1,000, you're gonna get 60% of the direct ad share.
Now, how are creators getting paid off of IHQ then?
It's the same. From advertisement, everything is based off advertisement. I don't care what it is. No TikTok, YouTube. Yeah. Everything is ad generated, targeted ads.
So you don't have to subscribe to IHQ. Everything is still ad generated, and you can make money.
Yep.
How are you able to give 60% if TikTok and the rest of them only giving $2?
That's what we do. That's the way they created their system. You get what I'm saying? That's the reason why Tubi made $900 million. But then show me a black film creator that made $1 million from Tubi.
Not one.
So you saying you got these people running around saying, oh, I'm getting 80%. Oh. But they don't understand the difference. You're not getting 80% of direct ad share. You're getting 80% of a system called watch hours. Totally two different things. Yeah. Because if somebody was getting paid 80% of direct ad share from top advertisers, you'll have a lot of millionaires walking around here.
For sure. Well, that explains what sets you apart, because so if I take all my content off of TikTok and put it over there within 30 days,
well, see, it's the same thing. It's still a job, right? And
yeah.
So starting next month, I think my biggest thing is about educating our culture, because like I say, we don't educate ourselves. It's the same as any job. McDonald's pay you, right?
Right.
But you still have to go to work Monday through Friday for 8 hours for you to get that check. It's the same situation. Just like people convert traffic and say, hey, go click on the link to my YouTube. You still have to get viewership on your content. But if the system is set up, if you got a popping show and you got viewership, then the advertisers are targeting you.
Okay, that makes sense. So then we just need to get people over there to. I'm just trying to figure out. Maybe I'm missing it. Is it more like YouTube based?
No.
People got to sign up, like the viewers.
No,
how do they get?
What viewers?
People that's going to be watching. How are you getting? Where is your audience?
Everywhere. So we national. International, the viewers everywhere. So that's why I say, so right now, for example, I got my company, Influencer Headquarters. I got over 100 million followers combined with the influencer side of me, right? So if you somebody want influencers, say Funny Man Galen, he got 2 million followers. He put his movie on the network. He's telling his 2 million followers, go check out my project over here. So now they're going to watch his project over here, which is bringing the viewership, and the advertisers are hitting on it.
And they don't have to sign up or create a profile or any of that stuff.
No, this is not, because you got to think, this is a network, right? It's a network. It's not an OTT platform. YouTube is an OTT platform. Snapchat, that's an OTT platform. Though you sign up whatever you do with those platforms. This is a network. If you was watching a BET or MTV.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Tubi, Netflix.
Yeah.
Those are networks that you still have to really kind of sign up. Pluto TV, all of that stuff.
Yeah, you ain't gotta sign up. You just download. You don't have to put an email in, any of that.
Oh, you killing the game then. Okay.
Yeah, no
then.
emails, no subscriptions. You just download on your TV. I always say TV because I understand advertisement.
On the TV.
Most people don't understand advertisement. You know, that's another reason why a lot of content creators not getting paid either, because again, they don't educate themselves. So the advertisers pay the lowest for consumer content through your cell phone.
Oh. And
what the world doing? Most of the world is
on their cell phones.
On their phone. But they're not gonna tell you that. They still getting the big bucks though. But as far as the content creator, you getting paid the lowest because everybody's consuming content through their phone, and the advertisers pay the lowest for that. They go phone, laptop, iPad, and then the big bucks is the TV.
You better learn us. So how are you going to educate us doing that? Are you going to have webinars?
So start next month. Yep. So next month I partner with the venue that I did the launch at, Modex Studios. We're doing workshops. We're bringing the directors and creators out and just educating them.
And you're going to do this throughout, like
every
quarterly month? Oh, every month.
Every month. Every month it's a different theme. Yeah.
I love that. That's so important. Talking about the type of content that you're going to have. So because a lot of creators talk about diversity, and I know that you're focused on the culture itself, but diversity in micro influencers, macro influencers, men, women, the gay community. How are you prepared to address the diversity and handle that over at IHQ?
We have diversity. We got Latinos programs on there. We got all type of programming on that. Like, and then when it comes to like micro influencers, it's for everybody. By me understanding the business, I'm not gonna say, oh, I ain't gonna work with you because you only got 5,000 followers.
Okay.
I know better than that. I know people who got 2 million followers that ain't really got nothing going. So I don't know when that started, but like you miss opportunities, you overlook a lot of talent because you prejudge somebody based off a follower account. Then the game's so messed up now. You could buy fake followers, views, comments. I just found out you could buy. You go live, people was buying views and they live.
So they buying the bots to show up live? I can't. It's too much. It's too much competition out here. I can't deal. So you already have content. You launched November 13th, but you already have content on the network that we can go and look at and binge on now. Yep,
I got movies, short films, podcasts, music videos. Through my partnership, we have the IP to a lot of artists, signed artists, MP4, which is their content. So a lot of the new music videos up there, podcasts, documentaries, everything up there.
Okay,
the Fast Real channel.
The Fast Real. Let's go check them out because I didn't know you was already popping. I mean, let me ask you, outside of work and all of this,
that's crazy, right? Because when you take a lot of other networks, that's why I say I don't think a lot of people don't understand exactly what I'm doing. No. When you take certain networks, they started with one movie or one show, right? We just dropped multiple projects.
So you was already in, you were already in the lab. The fact that you said you're getting $100 billion in ads.
100 million ad requests.
100 million ad requests monthly.
To place on content, right? So I'm gonna tell you, so what that means is, it was a smart business move for Fox in 2020 to buy Tubi. And it was smart because obviously we was forced to be in the house, and what were we doing in the house? We don't have time but to watch TV. It's smart for Fox because they already have the relationships with the biggest advertisers to place on this content. So then you target our culture and you let all these people upload their content up there because you pumping the ads on it.
Wow, dang. Okay, so do you come with a legal team too? Are you gonna offer those type of services to content creators?
A legal team?
Yeah. I mean, like, you're going to be educating us, so you got to have something to walk out the door, like resources. You can bring me into the workshop and tell me what I got to do, and then don't tell me where to go.
I mean, well, I can tell you where to go. Like, As far as what, like attorneys?
Bring in a whole legal team so we can sit down. People gonna be walking in with contracts already, Rico. They're gonna be like, "Can you look at this? So should I do this?" And you can be like, "That's not what
I ain't
I'm
no
for."
attorney.
See, exactly. Well, think about having an attorney on set.
Refer you to an attorney now.
Yeah, you might as well bring them on set to the webinar. Like people, they want to know. They need to know. Outside of well, before I ask you that, where do you see IHQ? What's the future of IHQ?
The biggest network.
The biggest network.
The biggest.
Take it off.
1 year from now. Remember I said that.
1 year from now?
Because you got to understand what's going on. It's a shift in the culture.
I was just going to ask
you.
The
music industry in the last 90 days, I'd say about 65-70% of all the CEOs stepped down from the labels.
Yes, we can see that.
You know what I'm saying? They was already boycotting the Hollywood. And like I say, it's due to the content that's been. What do we have?
Yeah. So where do you see the future of streaming then? What's the biggest trend that you're excited about, or you know that's going to happen?
So the biggest thing I'm excited about, live streaming.
Live streaming. That's going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, because it was this artist. I was talking to him before his situation he just had. He in jail now. It's a crazy situation going on with him. But I was talking to him about live streaming his birthday bash. And that's a very lucrative way to make money. And his team didn't get it, but then I turned around and seen Wayne doing it. Wayne did a live stream on Amazon and Twitch. Then right after that, for Black Friday, Snoop did a live stream.
Okay, so live
because you got to think about it. It's dangerous out here. You barely could go outside without worrying, and then you go outside. The average person, the way the economy is, people struggling, right? So just to go outside your house, gas,
$150 just to come outside.
Especially if you in Atlanta, parking,
oh yeah,
drinks. Now we got the capability and the technology. We could live stream, whether that's a concert, a business conference, a comedy special, anywhere in the world, and people could enjoy this from the comfort of their home for a way cheaper price than going outside.
Outside of working, what's your passion?
Outside of working,
all
I do is work.
Outside of all of this,
all I do is work.
All you do is work.
Work, because I think a lot of people.
That's a good word.
They accomplish something and they get too lax by the first accomplishment, right? And that's the wrong way to go. You just gotta stay consistent and be consistent. Like you gotta have multiple hustles.
Yeah.
Like the network is not the only thing I do. You get what I'm saying? So be consistent.
So when you talk about being consistent, that's really true. I started out in acting, and so pre-pandemic, the acting roles that I took really opened a lot of doors for me. And then when I started the show, it just really put me on the map to hosting a lot of different things. And at one point I just felt like I didn't need to introduce myself no more because people was already calling me. And so when the pandemic came, I was kind of like, for me, it was a break. It was like, oh, I got to sit down. I ain't got to go to nobody's event. I ain't got to do nothing. I got so comfortable because in the pandemic, there were a lot of people made. We see them today. They were made they were pandemic babies.
For sure.
Right? And so, I had a conversation with myself and I was like, you got comfortable. You cannot get comfortable. You got to always reinvent yourself and stay at it. Stay consistent.
Yeah, I don't care how big anybody get.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going.
Yeah.
And stay consistent with everything.
How do you feel about work-life balance since you just work? You got kids. You got teenagers though. So, married?
No.
Not married, but you have a girlfriend. So, same thing. Work life. She works too, though. So
yeah, we both work.
How do you do the work life balance thing? Or are you just in that season? Because we have seasons. Are you just in that season?
In a relationship?
Yeah, relationship and being a father.
On the relationship part, she's in a business too. So I think it go hand in hand. We both understand. Like she works a lot too. She's a top trademark attorney, so she understands what I got going on. I understand what she got going on.
If you could collaborate with any film director, any actor, any musician that you haven't already worked with, who would it be?
Film director?
Yes.
I don't know. Probably Will Packer, maybe.
For sure.
I think Will Packer is a good director.
For sure. He's good, yeah. And he contributes to good black movies.
Think artists, I just seen him drop a project too on Tubi. I'm like, damn. But I really want to work with Snoop. Yeah, I feel like Snoop is a very, very legendary
Absolutely.
person to work with. Because, you know, Snoop was in film. He in some movies, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He don't turn down nothing. I see him and Shaq. They're
Yeah,
going to do commercials, movies. They're gonna go get the bag.
Yeah, Shaq is a prime example as a hustler. Like,
Yes.
that's what I mean by, like, it don't matter how big you get, you got to keep going. Shaq probably could have been retired years ago, but this man has so many different businesses.
Yeah. Yep. Shaq is one.
Like, I watch people like him, Master P.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I
really got my eyes on them two guys. Like, I get a lot of guidance from them.
Okay. I can actually see that. I can see you working with every person that you name.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned in your career so far?
The biggest lesson I learned. You can't be friendly in this business. I feel like that's the biggest lesson I learned. Cause you will find yourself end up being disappointed.
This is true.
A lot of the times, being friendly and just like, because I always been a person that just help people and do, and then you would think you get that same in return, and it's totally the opposite. So I would say being friendly, and
I can see that, being friendly. I tell people all the time, like, you shouldn't focus on being liked. You want to be respected.
Not at all.
They don't have to like you.
That's it right there, respect. That's the biggest thing, like all the friendly, because in this industry, it's a sign of weakness. And once a person see that, they're gonna try to step over you, whether you're a man or a woman.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Any challenges that you would highlight in, I would say, let's focus on IHQ. In creating IHQ, getting it started, from start to finish, what was the biggest challenge that you had?
The biggest challenge?
Yeah.
Being black.
Wow. That's
the biggest challenge. Being black, I think, you know, a lot of people view me as a young black man, and you know, it's just harder, the questions, you get a million questions, and they doubt this and doubt that, and not understanding. They not asking these other people these questions. Right. They just signing their life away. You ain't asking YouTube questions. You ain't asking this platform questions. Y'all just putting y'all stuff up there. But when it comes to me, it's because I'm black, I'm young, and some people can't grasp that fact that this is actually going on. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? But the facts remain the facts. Like, so, and then they try to underplay the situation. And this is a situation you can't underplay. That's why I make it be known, and I be firm on what I say, because it's a powerful situation that's going on. Like, we voted in by Netflix and Peacock and Disney and all these people for a reason. So then them the questions you need to be asking. Well, why are you voted in by these people?
Why were you voted in?
Because the advanced technology and the ad bank that we have. You get what I'm saying? So it's a platform that just did a boxing match that was pay-per-view. They had a lot of technical issues. It was doing a lot of lagging and stuff like that. And that platform is very aware of the technology that we have. So by them just being a little popular, they trying to get ahead of it. So we got some we advanced with the technology. We like 7, 8 years ahead with the technology. We picked up a boxing match, right? It wasn't on the Pluto. It was on a lot of these other platforms. But how we got the fight is because we're the only ones that had bandwidth to reach Argentina and Belgium.
Say less.
Yep.
And this is the reason why. So you look at people like that, they look at money. From the top people that signed, that voted you all in, are looking at the money and the credentials and what you have and what you can do, versus the people that's trying to win or that you're trying to work with. It's like questioning, why should I trust you?
Yeah, but so and that's the thing. So all the people like that's up here in the corporate world, the technology world, they know what's going on.
They get it.
It's the people that's like, but then they putting their stuff over here. But then it's crazy because everything, I just wish 2025 people would start really educating themselves and stop doing things to go viral because it's trendy, viral, because most people are not making money.
No.
So you putting your stuff on these platforms because it's popular to do. But you're not financially gaining, so why are you continue to do it?
Because they don't know how to monetize themselves yet. And that's where the education piece come in.
Yep.
just trending is not going to get you monetized. It's not going to bring no money to your pocket.
Even views, I see people saying, oh, I got 1 million views on my video. They excited about the views, but them views is not converting to dollar signs. And I'm in the business, so I know this, so you can't trick me and be like, oh, look at my video, got 1 million views. Okay, I know that 1 million views, you ain't really made nothing off that.
Didn't convert to nothing. So you got a heavy weight on your hand, because you're not only educating, you got to change the mindset of this culture. So you kind of got to undo what TikTok did. And I say TikTok because it kind of really took off and took the attention span away. Everything just went to 7 seconds, 15 seconds videos. So you really got to change the mindset of the community to get them to understand of how you actually gain money. And I feel like, I'm not really a fan of Isaac, but I feel like I see him crying out every video. I feel like he is trying to beg people on how to look at the money.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about fan base because I haven't went over there enough.
I was on fan base when it first started. I know Isaac pretty well. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But so you gotta your hands are full with this, and I wish you the best. I think that it is very much needed, and to have a young Black man come in and say, I really want to teach our people how to monetize themselves, how to tell your story, own your story, and how to build longevity and wealth for your family, for yourself. That's big, and you're young, and for you to want to give back to all of us it's amazing.
Yeah, that's because I've been around
in
this since I was like 13, 14. You know what I'm saying? Just the business and learning and reading. Like, I read a lot, so.
What's your book you read now?
Well, I ain't reading no book right now.
What's the best book you read?
I've been so busy with the network.
Or the one that was the most influential in life?
The music book. I mean, the music. It's a book. What's the name of it? The music industry. But it's more than just the music industry in this book. It's just business. It's like contracts, and I would advise everybody to take a look at that book. Even if you're not in the music industry, it gives you a lot of information on what's going on behind the scenes.
You learned a lot in the music industry and in the streets. You learned a lot. I think that people come from the streets. My brother, my family. Listen, I'm from the projects, but I feel like dope boys or boys that's out there in the street, those men that grew up, you guys really, not you, a dope boy, but those men, I guess.
And that's the thing though, like I feel like a lot of people gravitate towards me and support me because they really see the journey. Like, that's why I say, like, I've never been one of these industry guys that tap dance. Like, I come from the streets. I'd have been to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't had, nobody gave me anything, so for me to be doing what I'm doing, that, like, it's the voice for a lot of these people that's still in the trenches. So a lot of people are behind what's going on right now.
Yeah, and your passion shows. I love that. I can appreciate that. Now, before I let you go, I want you to know how much I believe in you, because you made a post on Instagram and you kind of wanted the smoke with this Christmas tree, and they drug you, Rico. They people didn't believe you.
Yeah, I mean,
it was lavish.
They were hating on me, man. I don't know what's going on.
It was lavish. I want to say I believe you. I believe you did it. I mean, and that's not, I'm gonna cross my finger. I believe that you did it. It was really, really nice. You probably shouldn't ask for that kind of smoke, but who did the tree and the front door?
Dang.
Yeah. we want to shout out, because I know it was somebody from the culture. So go ahead and get them folk a check.
I forgot my girl got that tree done. Y'all called me.
It was really nice. I enjoyed talking to you. Before you leave, I just want you to give the community, the people that are listening, the audience that you need to reach for 2025, give them a challenge when it comes to being a creative, an artist, ambition, goals, dreams. Challenge them to something. The
challenge is to stay consistent. I feel like that's the hardest thing for a lot of people, to be consistent with something, whether that's going to the gym, dieting, consistent. You get way better results. So that's a very hard challenge. It ain't easy. It's easier said than done. So I just think being consistent, educating, reading, whatever you getting into, whether that's a content creator, a makeup artist, read, study, for yourself. Because even if you're going to school for a lot of the times, you ain't getting taught that. You got to really do the research and educate yourself on a lot of things. So I would say education and being consistent with whatever.
Education. So find a book to read or get a mentor.
Yep.
Right?
Mentors.
And they say if you do anything for 21 days, it becomes a habit, right?
Yep.
I'm going to challenge you 30 days of consistency every single day and whatever it is that you're setting out to do, because Rico said he needs you to be consistent. And if you set out and do it, tag Rico and tag us every single day so that we can see that you're being consistent and reward you. And maybe you'll end up on IHQ in the Fast channel. I don't know. You know?
For sure. Maybe.
Maybe. Until the next time, we both encourage you to say something.
Say something.